a barrel roll.
Smashtalk. Alright, this is going to be a pretty short one. As most of you probably know, there's already not many characters you can choose from in the first place when it comes to Starfox. Not just because it's only had 5 games, 6 if you count the re-release of Starfox 64 for the 3DS, but because it's a really limited series in terms of story, too. It's more of a gameplay game. It's really awesome at what it is. What story it does have is good story. It's usually a rail shooter, you know? So it's, they don't spend as much time developing characters as other series do. And you mostly deal with the same ones throughout the 5 games. Maybe if the series went on longer, you know, it would have more choices. But for now, there's really only one character that really stands out as a playable character. Eat some peanut butter! Peanut butter's sticky. I'm pretty sure everybody knows the basic setup of Starfox. Starfox is kind of like this bounty hunter team, but in space. Space bounty hunters. Who have to deal with Andros, usually. But they also have other enemies they have to fight. It's basically just a space shooter game, except for Starfox Adventures, which we're going to get to in a little bit. Now, what's interesting is the first 2 games are actually the same game. The original Starfox for the Super Nintendo was a fantastic game. It was the first one to have, like, 3D, not like in the way we have it now, but it used a graphics card to make things get bigger as they got closer to you and everything. It was really cool for its time. For its time, it had really good graphics. It's still not bad graphics now. It's kind of like a souped-up, awesome arcade game now. But the story wasn't, like, very well developed, and it was mostly just, it was gameplay. You know, it was back in the golden age of gameplay. When they made Starfox 64, what they did was they took Starfox and rebooted it. They fleshed out the gameplay more, the characters more. They added voice acting. They made the graphics were definitely better, of course. It was basically just taking Starfox and really getting serious with it. And it's one of the most popular games of all time. I mean, it's a really good one. It's the most successful out of the series. And it set up a lot of the characters that we come to know and love. You know, you've got Fox, Falco, and Wolf all got their start in that game. Well, I guess they got their start in the original Starfox, but, you know, Starfox 64, same thing. What's interesting is the next game was Starfox Adventures. You know, everybody's like, oh my god, it's so different from the formula, but there wasn't really much of a formula in the first place yet. It was definitely out of the mold of the first 2 games, but it was a really good game. It still had some shooter elements in it. You still had levels of shooting. It's just, it also had this big open world exploration. It borrowed heavily from Legend of Zelda, actually, in terms of gameplay. It's got the best story out of all of them. It just does. Part of it's because it doesn't follow the rail shooter format that most of the games follow, but it had more time to develop characters, and that's where the only playable character comes from. Crystal. I mean, what can you say? She's a babe! You know, she is a foxy lady, literally. She fights with a staff, she's got, like, access to magic. In pretty much every way, she's a unique fighter, and she's important. I mean, she's Fox's love interest. She's one of the only females in the game, if not the only. No, there's Cat, right? So she's not the only female. But, what can you say? She's just the best possible representation. I've seen some others in there. I've seen adding another pilot, usually Slippy or Leon. I've seen one Panther, I think. No, I mean, just what are you gonna do with them that's gonna make it any different? They're all basically outfitted with the same equipment. They all pretty much have the same background in terms of fighting ability. The biggest change I could think of is Leon having a long tongue. But, I mean, it's just, they don't hold a torch to Crystal. It's just how it goes. Okay, now, here's the bigger question. It's not so much what character should you add, it's should you add a character, period. A lot of people are thinking the series is dead. There hasn't been one for the Wii, The most recent game was 3 years ago when they did Command for the DS. 3DS, I should say. No, it was DS, wasn't it? Yeah, it was DS. And it just... They've made attempts to bring it back. For example, Kid Icarus, the new Icarus game. Initially, he wanted that to be a Starfox game. He looked at it and he was like, I want to put Starfox characters in here and I want to use this gameplay idea for Starfox. But things changed and he decided, you know what? This really fits Kid Icarus characters better. Starfox is kind of an anomaly in that it hasn't set its gameplay specifically. I mean, it's got the basic rail shooter, but every single game is played with the format in some way, except for the, first. For example, Adventures is a big roam the world game. Command is a strategy game. You control their paths and everything with the stylus on the bottom screen of the DS and have them fly around and everything, and it has multiple endings. It's different from the, normal formula. Assault. Assault had a bunch of missions on foot. It's a game where they basically come up with the gameplay ideas first, and then they put the characters in. For example, Starfox Adventures actually was under development by Rare as a game called Dinosaur Planet, and it was actually going to feature, it was going to feature Crystal. Crystal was still going to be a main character. And Tricky, the dinosaur that you meet in the game, who makes a return appearance in Assault. He'd be a really cool assist trophy, by the way. At least I think so. Or involved in Crystal's Final Smash or something. It was supposed to be Tricky from Diddy Kong Racing. Yeah. So Nintendo actually asked them to stop making that game and they took it and made it a Starfox game instead. So they kind of hijacked a game there. But that's kind of what the Starfox series is like. They go with the gameplay before anything else, which is different than a lot of their other franchises. Mario kind of, they changed the gameplay a bit, but they basically know we're going to make a Mario game before they start making up concepts for the gameplay. Zelda, they know the format, they know the gameplay. It's just Starfox that really gets this treatment. As for it being dead, recently, one of the programmers strongly hinted that they wanted to make one for the Wii U. So I don't think it's dead. I just think it's one of those games where, they haven't come up with an idea that they want to use yet. Fun fact, the Starfox idea came from Shigeru Miyamoto because he went to this shrine to a fox god that could fly. And it had a bunch of arches. You have to go through arches to get there, which is why you have to fly through rings. Miyamoto, man, I don't know. He gets the inspiration from the weirdest things. Miyamoto also makes more Starfox Easter eggs than basically any other series, such as, fighting the R-Wing in Ocarina of Time as a hidden enemy, or James McCloud being Eraser in F-Zero. Anyways, since it is a Miyamoto series, I don't want to take anybody out. I honestly think we need to keep representation of the series. I don't want to go, well, not relevant anymore, and yank them out. It's a Miyamoto series. It's an important series. It's a well-liked series. Don't take them out. Maybe replace somebody with Crystal if it comes to that. But I would rather either add Crystal or leave it as it is. Yeah. That's the video. It's short. There's just not much to say about Starfox. I love the series, though. If you haven't played it, you need to play it. Not just for research, but just it's an awesome game. It's fun. It's like a big arcade experience. Except for Starfox Adventures, which is one of the best games ever made. Swear to God. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Next week, who knows? I might even make a video before then, just because this one was so short. Alright, see ya.